Hey guys, heading up your well, Alessio speaking to you today from the seaside town of Bournemouth in the south of England. Really beautiful place, by the way. It's a nice place to come for Christmas around this time of year. Now in this video I want to just recap and summarize my primary perspective on Bitcoin. And you may remember in a recent video that I published, I've already mentioned some of the key points about Bitcoin, but let me just go over it again in this video in a bit more detail. So in a recent video I said that despite the drop in the price of Bitcoin, despite the fact that Bitcoin has dropped since its summer highs, I think it was June highs of 13,800 down to the lows we had recently about 6,500. The fact is, I've seen a lot of people become extremely bearish. A lot of folks are seeming to give up on Bitcoin at the moment. People are calling for lower and lower numbers on Bitcoin, from 3,000, 2,000, 1,000 I've heard as well. Here's my perspective. My main, or should I say primary perspective on Bitcoin still is bullish. In other words, as I mentioned in a previous video, the drop in the price of Bitcoin, I see this as an ABC wave 2 corrective wave. If you think about it, let me just explain this point. If you think about a trend, and in Elliott wave theory, trends are composed of 5 waves. So essentially in Elliott wave theory, markets or price moves in the direction of the major trend in 5 waves. Now if you take a look at this chart over here, that's a 5-wave move in a trend. That means essentially the drop we've had so far in the price of Bitcoin is the wave 2 after the wave 1. The wave 1 probably started from the 2019 lows, the December 2018 lows, you're going to call it that, all the way up to the summer highs of 13,800. That is essentially wave 1 in this picture. Then the drop we've had so far is a corrective wave, an Elliott wave, wave 2, in the larger mega wave trend. Okay, that means this, as you probably know by now, once wave 2 completes, once the C wave of wave 2 completes, which I think potentially completing into 2020, I think in the first half of 2020 we could complete that wave 2 and then start the mega wave, larger wave 3 towards much higher numbers. But the bottom line is this: even if Bitcoin does go down to those levels of 6,000 to 5,000, or even to Peter Brandt's level of 5,500, it doesn't really matter, because this is still part of a C wave of the wave 2 correction in a much larger wave 3 that could take us towards 30,000, 40,000 and 50,000. Okay, so that's why I still remain bullish for the long term on Bitcoin, as long as we remain above 5,000. Now you probably know why I said 5,000. 5,000 is the 200 weekly moving average. And as you may recall in the previous video, I said if Bitcoin falls below 5,000, which I don't expect, then we could see significantly lower levels. So as you heard me say in the previous video, I remain bullish on Bitcoin as long as we remain above 5,000. Now I don't actually expect Bitcoin to fall below 5,000. Sure, it's a possibility, but I don't expect it. I think it's a lower probability scenario. I think that has a lower probability of about 30 to 40%. So guys, I continue to remain bullish on Bitcoin. Again, as I mentioned before, I think the lower levels of, at the moment, I think the lower levels of 3,000, 2,000, I'm not expecting a move down to those levels anytime soon. I continue to remain bullish, again, as long as we remain above 5,000. And I think the higher probability scenario, again, probability of about 60 to 65% probability, is that we could continue to go further higher in the long term, to potentially, again, 30 to 50,000 in the long term in the next few years. Now, again, we'll review the situation in the year 2020. But again, guys, let me know your point of view. Let me know your views and comments below this video. I look forward to reading your comments.